my focus is on the top focus on what happened inside and outside JNU. What happened in Delhi's Patiala House court today, perhaps a clear statement on the growing divide between so-called nationalists and so-called anti-nationals in India, or so-called liberals and so-called right-wing. The matter came to a head when a bunch of angry lawyers chased and beat up JNU students in court premises. Even journalists, including India Today's Anusha Soni, who were covering the story, were manhandled. Is this the face we want to see of India?
Complete lawlessness in Delhi's Patiala House court. Supporters of JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar, who faces sedition charges for alleged anti-India slogans, thrashed. A bunch of lawyers took it upon themselves to first evict the students from the courtroom where Kanhaiya was being presented and then punish them. Some of them were asked to go to Pakistan for sympathizing with the sympathizers of Afzal Guru.
मैं पूछ रही हूँ क्या वकीलों का ये काम है कि लोगों को न्याय दिलाने के बाद लोगों को पीटेंगे? मुझे आज वाकई शर्म आ रही है कि ऐसे लोग देशभक्ति का नारा लगा रहे हैं। कुछ लोग जो कि एडवोकेट के ड्रेस में भी थे और कुछ संगी गुंडे थे, कुछ एबीवीपी के थे, वो लोग सारे आके अचानक से स्लोगनिंग करने लगे और लोगों को पीट पकड़ के मारना शुरू कर दिए। सर अंदर गिरा के ये लोग मार रहे हैं। हमने पूछा कि भाई तर्क दो, हम भी चाहते हैं कि जो देशद्रोही है उसको सजा हो। कह रहे हैं कि कोर्ट तय नहीं करेगी, हम तय करेंगे कि देशद्रोही कौन है। आप हम लोगों से करते कोई बात नहीं। अंदर टीचर्स हैं हमारे सीनियर टीचर जेएनयू के, उन टीचर्स के संग बच्चे मीडिया के लोगों के कोई है। As you can see
behind me, they are also speaking to the media as of now. These are people from ISA and AISF who were beaten up by lawyers. That is what they are saying. In fact, inside, just before Kanhaiya could come, there were lawyers who were shouting slogans and trying to attack people who were trying to say something about Kanhaiya.
Some of the journalists who covered the brazen lawlessness were also attacked. India Today group reporters Anusha Soni, Poonam Sharma and Sneha Agarwal were among them. Some women journalists faced physical misbehavior.
Actually, I was there for the coverage. Few lawyers just pushed me out and they just keep on hitting me, and you can see what these lawyers. Police was there, 2 police constables were there. They did nothing and they just vanished away from there.
BJP MLA OP Sharma and his aides were caught on camera chasing and beating an unidentified man, though he later said he was only reacting to an attack. The police, meanwhile, has filed a case against him.
कुछ लोग वहाँ हिंदुस्तान मुर्दाबाद, पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद के नारे लगा रहे थे। मैंने उनको समझाया कि भाई आप नारे मत लगाओ। इतने में वो आक्रामक हो गए, फिर छीना झपटी हुई, फिर वो भाग दौड़ में वो गिर पड़ा, उसके ऊपर मैं गिर पड़ा। अब ये उस मारपीट में ये सर पे चोट लगी है।
The real hub of the controversy, the JNU campus, was not calm either. Locals tried to storm the university, saying they won't tolerate anti-nationals on a campus built on their land.
1965 में हमारी मुनीर का किशनगढ़ कटवारिया सराय महरौली की जमीनें लेके एक्वायर करके जेएनयू बनाई गई कि यहाँ बच्चे पढ़ेंगे, लेकिन ये बच्चे पढ़ने की जगह यहाँ राजनीति करते हैं, आतंकवादियों को यहाँ शरण देते हैं। अब जेएनयू को ताला लगा के रहेंगे।
हमारे देश में रह के हमारे ही देश के अंदर पढ़ते हैं और हमारे देश की गद्दारी करते हैं।
हमारे गाँव की जमीनें ये हमारी जमीनें हैं, हमको इनमें एडमिशन नहीं मिलता दिल्ली के लड़कों को, लेकिन बाहर से लाके माओवादियों को भर के इसमें पढ़ाएंगे।
Police had to use force to keep the protesters out of the campus.
JNU today was rocked by multiple protests both inside and outside, even as students observed a day-long strike inside demanding immediate release of their president Kanhaiya. Many groups including VHP leader Sadhvi Prachi protested outside demanding strictest possible action against the perpetrators.
While Kanhaiya will remain in police custody for 2 more days, the JNU Students' Union has said the other 7 students who have already been outcast by the university will not face the biased inquiry committee. With Ashar Khanan on India Banerjee in New Delhi, Bureau Report for India Today.
I want for a moment to go to Anusha Soni, our correspondent who was at the courts when all this happened. Anusha, I hope you're much better now. Please tell me exactly what was done with the reporters there.
Rajdeep, though I'm much better now, but a lot of colleagues, a lot of journalists, they are not in a good state. At least 3 to 4 journalists from publications are taking some treatment at Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital. I can tell you at least the incident that happened with me and one of the correspondents in that group. She was forced out of the courtroom. Her phone was snatched from her. Also, at the same time, by me and other few reporters were standing in the court premises, a mob of lawyers came to us, asked us for our identity, and then said that if we want our security, we should better leave the premises. Then, holding our wrists, 3 to 4 people took us out of the court premises, and an entire mob was following us. All of this happened in front of the Delhi police. And the irony of the situation is, at the same time, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and INB Minister was on the court premises for the hearing in the defamation case. However, Delhi police took no action, and in the garb of these, clashes that happened today at the court premises, media was heckled, women were misbehaved with, and it didn't look like a court premise. It looked like a complete spot of vandalism.
Mr. Om Prakash Sharma of the BJP says that there were slogans being shouted, Pakistan Zindabad, India Murdabad. Were there slogans being shouted like that?
Well, we did hear many sorts of slogans being shouted at Patiala House court today. There were protests, from the JNU side as well. As far as the, slogans that you're mentioning, I do not remember hearing these slogans. Yes, of course, there were slogans supporting India, supporting Kanhaiya also. However, anti-India slogans, I wouldn't remember or recall, being present at the court premises that they were being shouted today.
So Prakash Sharma must answer. Why is he saying then that there are anti-India slogans that were being shouted there, when clearly our reporter says there were slogans in support of Kanhaiya Kumar but not anti-India slogans. Now, the court will decide tomorrow whether the sedition charges against the JNU-SU President Kanhaiya Kumar should be probed by an anti-terror agency, the NIA. Home Minister Rajnath Singh, remember, has already courted controversy by claiming that 2611 mastermind Hafiz Saeed had backed the JNU stir. The opposition now is sharpening the attack, asking the government for proof, even as BJP President Amit Shah wrote a blog questioning Rahul Gandhi.
JNU के कैंपस में जो राष्ट्र विरोधी नारे लगाए गए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी इसकी निंदा करती है। मैं कांग्रेस पार्टी से पूछना चाहता हूं कि कांग्रेस पार्टी एज अ पार्टी, उनके उपाध्यक्ष श्री राहुल गांधी जी ने जो बयान दिए हैं, इसका समर्थन करती है क्या?
Those under whose nose the biggest temple of democracy, the Indian Parliament, was attacked, and those whose quest for propagating personal leadership should not teach lessons of patriotism or love for nation to the Congress party.
As the political fight over anti-India slogans raised in JNU becomes bitter, Home Minister Rajnath Singh's charge that the Afzal Guru event was backed by Hafiz Saeed has turned into a controversy in itself.
JNU की जो घटना हुई है, उसे लश्कर-ए-तोयबा के चीफ हाफिज सईद का भी समर्थन प्राप्त है.
Home Minister was allegedly making the charge on the basis of a viral tweet posted by a handle at Hafiz Saeed JUD in support of the JNU students. The Twitter account was later found to be fake, seemingly catching the government in a trap. The government is now vague about whether the evidence on Hafiz Saeed's link is anything other than the fake tweet.
When a Home Minister makes a statement, one must take serious note of it rather than questioning the motive or the veracity of the whole.
Controversial VHP leader Sadhvi Prachi, who tried to enter the JNU campus today with her supporters, also echoed Rajnath Singh but had no answer on the evidence.
इस JNU के यूनिवर्सिटी में हाफिज सईद ने फंडिंग की है, हाफिज सईद के सहयोग से वो सम्मेलन हुआ है, हिंदुस्तान का खाते हैं, पाकिस्तान के गीत गाते हैं.
India today has learnt that the BJP top brass has decided to face the criticism head-on. The BJP is sending out a message of zero tolerance against anti-nationals and warding off Congress criticism as their political frustration. With Rahul Kawal in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, in news that's just breaking today, the journalist community has decided to take up the issue of journalists being beaten up inside the court. Journalists now will be marching from the press club to the Supreme Court tomorrow. That's the news that we are getting at the moment. Journalists will be planning a protest march tomorrow. At noon tomorrow, journalists will go to the Supreme Court in protest against the attacks on journalists. What I'm going to do today is divide this fight into three key areas: police, students, and politicians, all of whom have questions to answer. Let me first introduce my guests at the moment with us. Guests at the moment joining me now is Vikram Singh, former DGP UP, is also a Vice Chancellor in a university at Noida. Dr. Kiran Bedi, former IPS officer, is with us. Dr. Sambit Patra is the national spokesperson of the BJP. Sanjay Jha is the spokesperson of the Congress. And Prashant Mukherjee is president of the Delhi State Committee of the Students' Federation of India. And Saurabh Kumar is the joint secretary of the ABVP. I appreciate all of you joining me. I'm going to put questions to all of you, and this is how I've divided them. The first are the questions to the police. Is a case of sedition being made out against the students? What proof does the Delhi police have to press the charges? Is there any link of Hafiz Saeed to the JNU students? Are the police using disproportionate force against plain dissent? Why were students, journalists not protected in court? To the politicians, my questions are these. Why are netas politicizing a students' protest? Has JNU turned into a mere photo op for votes? Are netas not damaging the career of students? Shouldn't our politicians keep India above politics? Will netas step aside and let students decide their fate? To the students, have anti-India forces really intruded into JNU? How do you justify the call to dismember India in one of the slogans? Why glorify a terrorist executed for parliament attack? Can JNU students keep anti-national elements at bay? Will students end their stir, confrontation, and cooperate with the police? These are just some of the questions that I will be raising today. I want to start with the questions, though, to the police officers first. Dr. Kiran Bedi, in your view, has the police resorted to excess force? And when it stands by in a courtroom, in the Patiala court, while journalists are beaten up, while lawyers are shoved aside, what does that say? Is the police hand in glove with the establishment here?
Only evidence will prove this, because there will be enough audiovisual and visual evidence of the protesters, the whole incident. There'll be enough evidence, and I think those audiovisuals and visuals through various channels which were present, I believe media was invited, that will establish. You and I sitting outside not having a full overview cannot say it. So I cannot say yes, I cannot say no.
Ma'am, you might have heard what my reporter said.
Visual evidence will establish.
My reporter said very clearly that when this roughing up was taking place, the police stood by for the main part. Questions will be raised. There was a BJP MLA involved. Is this the guy? You may have objections to what someone else says, some slogans raised, but you cannot take the law into your own hands. Would you agree that the police should have been more decisive or not?
Again, I said I've seen scores of such agitations and confrontations and mayhem. It's a 360-degree watch analysis of the situation that really helps you to conclude. It cannot be one television, one scene, one has to be in totality. That's why the courts call for all visuals available and then come to a conclusion.
Let me ask the big question, though, to the police officers first. Is this a case of sedition, yes or no, or has the police overreacted? Soli Sorabji has told us today very clearly on the program that raising anti-India slogans is not sedition. Sedition, according to him, must be seen when you are actually plotting to bring the downfall of the state. Sedition is used in rarest of rare cases. Do you believe, Vikram Singh, the police has overreacted?
No, I do not. I tend to agree with Dr. Kiran Bedi has said that if you do not react now, then when will you react? When grenades are hurled at us? No. Sorry. What they have said and done is uncondonable, and strongest possible legal action can be taken. Yes, agreed that there are Supreme Court rulings to the effect, but I would rather that I would prosecute the case on merits. There is sufficient evidence on record, both video and audio.
Arresting them, sedition, is this a case for sedition? Tomorrow you are saying that if I put out a slogan which you disapprove of, it may be anti-India. Is it sedition? The law of sedition was used against the likes of Mahatma Gandhi and others in the colonial times when they wanted to bring down the government of the day.
Agreed.
Are we going to equate the students of JNU, sir, with what was happening in colonial times? Surely not. Shouldn't the university be taking the action? Why is the police intervening?
What the police are doing is what they had invited the police to do. The police, our hands are tied. They have very little options.
There was no violence. If there was no violence, on what basis did you decide to ask the police to come in?
It is not the question of
ABVP
violence.
asked the police to come in. Is the ABVP going to decide who is to be arrested and who is not?
The police should have gone suo moto. But I tell you, there are 4 people in the room. Nobody is but they're indulging in objectionable and illegal activities. Do you think the violence is an imperative? Violence is not an imperative. The very fact that you're raising most slogans of the most objectionable types, it is reasons for the police to be proactive and take suitable and deterrent action.
Okay, so that's the police perspective. Let me bring in the politician perspective. Sambit Patra, let's be very clear. The BJP seems to have decided in some way to take a stand on this issue, and the blog of Amit Shah seems to suggest that this is a battle between nationalistic forces and anti-national forces. Now, who is going to decide? Does anyone have a monopoly on who is national and who is anti-national? Am I to be told that if some students I have resorted to anti-India slogans, is an entire university of JNU going to be branded as a den of goons, a den of anti-national elements? And is the BJP then going to say that Hafiz Saeed is linked to JNU? I mean, surely there must be some perspective, Mr. Sambit Patra here.
2 questions. First, you said that whether the institute of JNU should be branded as a den of anti-nationals, to which I would say no. The institute as such should not be branded as such, and no one is doing that.
No, your leaders
You're talking about the fringe.
There are leaders of yours. There are leaders of yours who have said that, sir. I have it here on record.
Let me complete. Yes, you might be having that on record, but I tell you, the political view of the party is absolutely clear that it is not that the whole institution is to be branded. It is the element within the institution which is standing against this country. Action and law should proceed against them. The second question is to who would decide as to who is nationalistic and who is anti-national. Now, no one, the BJP nor the Congress decides who is nationalistic or anti-national. It is the people of this country who decide from their heart as to who is taking a nationalistic stand and who is in fact going against the national mood. And I tell you, Rajdeep, from my heart of hearts, I'm in Mumbai today. I have been traveling across, in fact, for the few last days when this JNU thing happened. I go to the railway station, I go to the metro, I go to the plane, I travel by the plane. People everywhere are questioning this. What is happening in this country? What is happening in JNU? How can people and students come out openly and give slogans which are absolutely anti-national? Now tell me, as far as the Congress is concerned, I just asked a few questions of the Congress. Today, Mr. Randeep Surjewala addresses Afzal Guru as Afzal Guru Ji. You ask him, he says it is a slip of tongue. In fact, it was only a few months before when Mr. Digvijay Singh had called Osama bin Laden as Osama Ji. You would remember it is not me or the BJP leaders who say this. That Salman Khurshid, the then, just a second, Salman Khurshid, the then external ministers, had gone to the extent of saying that Sonia Ji was absolutely disturbed when terrorists were killed in Patiala House. She cried for days together. So naturally, who is nationalistic and who is anti-national is decided by the people of this country.
Let Sanjay Jha respond to that. Sanjay Jha, have you boxed yourself into a situation where the BJP is going to make this a battle now between nationalistic and anti-national forces, that Rahul Gandhi coming out in what is seen as a sympathy for the students will be interpreted by the BJP as siding with anti-national forces? How do you respond?
Well, Rajdeep, I read Mr. Amit Shah's statement, and I said for a man who went to Tihar jail for fake encounter cases, I don't want to even dignify his statement by making a comment on it. But let's address a larger point here. You know, end of the day, the Bharatiya Janata Party, to always in any television discussion anywhere else, their claim to have monopoly on patriotism and nationalism is now becoming a standing joke. Let's take the example of JNU, for example. The students had something to do with Afzal Guru's anniversary. Isn't it ironical that the Bharatiya Janata Party, which has filed a sedition case against Krishan Kanhaiya or Kanhaiya Kumar, has actually gone ahead and been a political partner to the PDP, and the PDP is on record to say that the Afzal Guru hanging, which happened during the UPS time, according to them was a travesty of justice. And this is the party that the BJP is hand in glove with. End of day, the PDP actually thanked Pakistan for having a free and impartial election in Jammu and Kashmir. And who's in bed with them? The Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, isn't that preposterous, absurd and totally atrocious that this hypocritical party, practicing the most brazen double standards, is preaching one thing politically to its partners in Jammu and Kashmir, while it's trying to intimidate students in JNU. They're holding no brief for the JNU, but I can tell you the attack, the dastardly attack on Mr. Anand Sharma, a senior Congress
one minute.
I was reading about the assault
1 minute. This dastardly, don't use word like dastardly attack.
You have a fascist regime. You have a fascist regime in Delhi. Mr. Modi's government is intimidating.
Let's not use rhetoric. Let's use fact. Let's not use rhetoric. Let's use fact. You stated one fact which is interesting, that you claim that the PDP government with the BJP, which is in power with the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir, has also in the past backed Afzal Guru and said that he was wrongly hanged. Respond to that, Sambit Patra. Is there a difference between JNU and what happens in Srinagar, or is this political convenience?
I'll tell you. I mean, first and foremost, I was astonished with the words of the national spokesperson of Congress when he said that students of JNU were doing something about Afzal Guru. There is nothing called as something about Afzal Guru. They were utilizing Afzal Guru. And secondly, as far as PDP is concerned, my only question to Sanjay Jha is, well, PDP, in fact, might be anti-national as per your standards. You were in power for 10 long years recently. You also hand in gloves with PDP because you also ran a coalition government. Why did you not dismantle? Why did you not Just a second. I was not interjecting, sir. You are not. Can I ask who is the anchor? Can I ask who is the anchor?
Sanjay Jha, please do not intervene.
Can I ask who is the anchor?
You will get enough time to respond.
Yes. My submission is, if they felt all this about PDP, PDP is a national political party or regional one, if you could agree with me. Why didn't you complain to the Election Commission and dismantle the PDP while you were in power? My second submission is, outrightly I'm saying it. Outrightly I'm saying it. If anyone from PDP says this today, Pakistan Zindabad, India ki barbadi hogi, Azadi hogi Kashmir ki, I tell you, we will stand against that party as well. It's not that we are hell-bent for power just as the Congress party. And let me ask you, Mr.
Can I for 1 minute? 1 minute.
There are certain issues which are... No, Mr. Sanjay Jha should read to certain amount of...
Mr. Jha, I will not allow you to interject. I will allow you to speak after Sambit has finished.
Will you be tolerant? Was I interjecting when you were speaking, Mr. Jha? Please be courteous. Please be courteous. Mr. Rajdeep, my simple submission is there are certain issues which are non-debatable. There are certain issues which are non-debatable. Issues like whether it is succession or whether it is nationalist is absolutely clear in this particular case.
Can I ask you a question now?
And the audios, the video and
Sir,
the
can I ask you a question, Mr. Patra?
Yes.
Just a minute, Mr. Jha, I will come to you. Just the question is this whole issue of sedition. I have told you what Soli Sorabji has told us. He's been very clear about the fact that anti-India slogans being raised by themselves are not sedition as per the law. That's his definition, former Attorney General who served under Vajpayee's government. My point to you is, when, for example, the Hindu Mahasabha celebrates Godse's anniversary and celebrates the killer of the father of the nation, will you ask for sedition charges? My point is this the direction in which you want to take? Sedition is a colonial law. It was used against Mahatma Gandhi. It was used against Lokmanya Tilak. Do you want to use it against 10 students who are allegedly making these slogans and say that this is the kind of treatment they should get, is my simple question. And if that is the case, and you may well be right, then we should also use it against those who endorse and eulogize Nathuram Godse. Would you agree with that, Mr. Jha, Mr. Patra?
My submission to this is, law is a law.
Yes.
If it is being practiced now, it has not been repealed, then naturally it is still a law. Whether it was a colonial law or whether it is not a colonial law.
Mr. Soli Sorabji says it doesn't fall within the definition of sedition.
Yes. I'll answer that. I'll answer that. With all due regards to Mr. Soli Sorabji, I would say that, well, let the judges decide. If the judges of the Patiala court felt that retaining or detaining Mr. Kanhaiya, the president of JNU, was illegal, then naturally the judge would not have sent him to a remand, a further remand of 2 days. He's a learned judge. I would not question the wisdom of a judge, whether it is seditious or not, whether it is succession or not. Let the court decide. I am no one to decide on that.
Do you have any proof? Does your Home Minister have any proof, sir, that these students are linked to Hafiz Saeed? Does he have an iota of proof when he makes that kind of statement? Does the Home Minister Rajnath Singh ji, sir, have even any proof that these protests are endorsed, backed by Hafiz Saeed? Is this, do you believe that was a responsible statement to make based on a fake tweet?
How do we know it was based on a fake tweet? The MHA today has responded by saying that it was consolidated inputs from various agencies which were conglomerated together to come out to this conclusion. I have complete faith on my Home Minister, and why should I have faith on Hafiz Saeed words or the people who are shouting against India? Why should I have faith on them? I should rather place my faith with the Home Minister of India.
Let me again get in Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, the fact is, and there Sambit Patra has a point, look at the slogans, and I'm going to get the student leaders in a moment on it. The slogans are Kashmir ki azadi tak jang chalegi, Bharat ki barbadi tak jang chalegi, Afzal tumhare armanon ko manzil tak hum pahunchayenge. Would you agree that in any form such slogans cannot be justified on the campus? That even if we agree that a campus is a space for dialogue and for dissent, the fact is that these slogans are of a kind that can incite violence. To that extent, by supporting the students, are you in a sense, as I said, being seen to side with forces that want to dismember this country?
Well, let me tell you, this is a very simple answer. There were 200 civil society people, including public intellectuals, eminent citizens, Rajdeep, you'll remember, who wrote a letter to our government when Afzal Guru was hung. And they said we actually, protest against the hanging of Afzal Guru. Did the UPA government go and arrest him? Does this government want to go and arrest him? I mean, people have a view in a democracy. They have a right to disagree with any decision. They can even disagree with the Supreme Court decision. You and I both know that. Now look at the double standards here of the Bharatiya Janata Party. You mentioned Nathuram Godse. Damodar Nayak is a BJP MLA from Goa who celebrated on January 30th the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation, who singularly fought for India's freedom struggle, and the BJP is remarkably silent. Mr. Patra spent 5 minutes, and therefore I was trying to interrupt. He never answered the question why one yardstick applies political convenience for the PDP and another for the JNU. Sakshi Maharaj was promoted in the BJP office as an office bearer after he made a statement where he said Nathuram Godse is a patriot. You have Hindu Mahasabha which goes on public, on record, celebrating Gandhiji's assassination. So you are witnessing a government which is essentially fascist and intolerant. I think the JNU is nothing but a political ideological war which has been unleashed by the BJP, because everyone knows Kanhaiya Kumar campaigned for the Communist Party in the Bihar elections. And as far as politics is concerned, let me tell you this, Rajdeep.
Yes.
Every political party which believes in democracy, which believes that India needs to have a voice to express itself, will take to the streets. I think what you're seeing...
1 minute now.
I believe the JNU is a tipping point on this whole debate.
You know, it's interesting you say JNU is a tipping point in this whole debate. Remember how the Congress dealt with student protests during the pre-emergency years, during the Nav-Nirman movement, but we won't go back into the past, because if you go back into the past... Can I come in, Rajdeep? Every political... I'll come back. Kiran Bedi has a point to make. Ma'am, you make a point.
Rajdeep, listen, this is a clear case of breaking of law. Section 124A as it stands today. An FIR has gone to the police. It fits into the section and ingredients of 124A. Police has done its duty by registering the FIR as per the law. Police has not charge sheeted him yet. Police is investigating. Police is doing its duty. Why don't we let the listeners know that somebody broke the law? It fell into the section of Indian Penal Code 124A. This is the law. Police is not charge sheeted. Police is now going to collect evidence, and it is the judge who is going to assess the evidence. The fact is that they've extended this man's police custody by 2 days. The court has already assessed the evidence as far collected by now. That is why it extended it by 2 days. Why don't we let the people know that this is called the law? You break the law, FIR is registered, police has done it, and police has not done the arrest right away. It's after 2 days, and police is still collecting its evidence. Why are we diverting? Why don't we let the people know that if you break the law and FIR is registered, you can be arrested. However, charge sheet and conviction comes much, much later. Why don't we drive home the rule of law? I think that's the major point.
Prashant Mukherjee, you're president of the Delhi State Committee of the SFI, that the rule of law says very clearly, 124A, anti-India slogans of the kind that were used is a violation of the law. And therefore, the police has every right to file an FIR. Let the rule of law prevail rather than politics.
Yes.
Yes, I certainly agree to that. But, ma'am, please let me talk. Yeah. I certainly agree to that, and the Students' Federation of India is in a firm belief of the fact that it is a united India. See, and moreover, we have outrightly condemned that. We have been the most vocal critique of what happened in JNU. But the poster, which is moving about all media channels, has given the names of the organizers. Why are charges or why is the action not being taken against them and Kanhaiya Kumar? There I would like to bring, because he is the leader of the Students' Union, and by targeting the entire JNU, they are running a campaign. The RSS is running a campaign, shut down JNU. See, I would like your camera to focus on this. This is a parcha brought out by the AVBP in Himachal Pradesh. In Himachal Pradesh, SFI has the union in most number of places. In this parcha, AVBP says that the JNU is not known for intellectual activities, rather these kind of activities. I would like them to ask that Prabhat Patnaik, Shipi Chandrasekhar, Anand Kumar, they are not known for academic activities. Then who is known for academic activities? Point number one, incitement of violence in a court case of the 1962, as far as sedition is concerned, the Delhi police took 3 days to decide that it was incitement of violence. Okay, you have arrested Kanhaiya Kumar. Why? That incident happened in JNUSU. Fine. It was Narendra Modi in his regime in 2002. 2,000 people were butchered in Gujarat.
One minute.
Why was Narendra Modi not arrested?
One minute. Let's not do. I want the facts, no rhetoric. You made a good fact about JNU and the shutdown campaign of JNU. Let's focus on that. Narendra Modi and Gujarat on another day at another time. I'm more than happy to debate that. But let's look at this, Saurabh Kumar. There is a conscious campaign. Ever since you lost the elections in JNU, that the ABVP wants in some way to tar JNU with the brush, some ideological brush. And then the point being made by Mr. Mukherjee that professors, teachers, let's assume they are ideologically left. That doesn't make them anti-national, for God's sake. Just because someone has an ideology different to yours doesn't make them anti-national. Why run a campaign like shut down JNU? What benefit are you getting by running such a campaign?
Okay. No, first of all, I would like to say that this campaign, shut down JNU, was not convened by ABVP at all. It was a reaction by the people who got the news that in JNU such
there are BJP, ABVP supporters who are running the campaign.
We are running the campaign. We are running the campaign that JNU is my pride, my JNU, my pride. This is the campaign which is going on.
You are tarring the brush of JNU. I've got this kind of statements that you all are making that JNU is a den of anti-national elements.
There are few elements. There are right from the first day we are saying that there are few elements in the campus who are anti-national. And they have got the very good support from.
What is your definition of anti-national? Please tell me. I want your definition of who is an anti-national in this country. If somebody supports, you are, and the point is being made, you are supporting a PDP government in Jammu and Kashmir, most of whose MLAs have said that Afzal Guru was wrongly hanged. That time then you don't call them anti-national, but you will call the Kashmiri students in JNU anti-national. What is this, Saurabh?
See, if you are raising a slogan that you are going to destroy India, isn't it an act of anti-national?
If they have raised a slogan and you have videos to that effect,
that is what we did, sir.
Let us assume that you have these videos. Can the university not take action against these students?
That is what we did. We have filed a complaint to the university and we did the same with the police.
Within minutes the police comes in there.
No.
Within minutes the police comes in there. The question is, could this not have been sorted at the level of the university?
Yes, this question was raised everywhere, but the fact is, this incident is not the first one in its kind. It has been taking place in the campus for last 3 years, and we have been filing the complaint to the vice chancellor, and nothing happened. Nothing has happened.
Prashant Mukherjee, are you all waging also an ideological battle in JNU?
A quick comment. Rajdeep.
Yes. Go ahead.
Rajdeep, just think. I would like to say that the AVBP invited the police in the Rohit Vemula incident in Hyderabad. I would quote, they have been using the state machinery to repress the students. Campuses are not cantonments. You cannot deal with an armed fidayeen in the same manner and a student in the similar manner. There is a difference. There should be a difference in modality.
Let Sambit Patra.
Even in the case of JNU, it was the AVBP to invite the police.
You did not invite the police?
Can I?
You asked the police? No.
We just filed a complaint to the police.
You
No.
filed a complaint to the
Yes,
police.
we filed a complaint.
Yes, Sambit, you wanted to respond.
See, look, I have been listening to this debate. The contention that who called the police, whether the police was supposed to enter the campus or not. The answer is, when the police and the army can enter the Swarna Mandir, the Golden Temple in Amritsar, why cannot it enter the campus of JNU?
Please, just like the gentleman compared Modi's to Gujarat Raj, let's not bring in the Golden Temple. It was one of the biggest blunders of our times to send the army into Golden Temple. Please don't compare the police into JNU with the army going into Golden Temple. Please.
Just a second, sir. Just a second, sir. Yes. Why should law not enter a particular campus? Why should a particular campus be above the purview of law? Why should it be immune to law? If anti-India sloganeering was taking place in a campus, if someone complains, I would salute that someone, rather than castigating AVBP or any organization for having gone to the police station and complaining. I don't know whether they have complained or not, but if they would have done this, or if they have done this, I salute them, because that is what is the duty of an Indian, to complain anything which they perceive is anti-national, and shouting slogans like Pakistan Zindabad, Hindustan ki barbadi ho is something which we should complain. Last 10 seconds, just a second. I was not speaking in the middle. I was not speaking in the middle, sir. Please be tolerant. Please be tolerant. Please be tolerant.
We are all tolerant. We are all tolerant.
Yes. Look who's talking.
No, we know that is quite evident. That is quite evident. I was not interjecting. I was not interjecting. Tolerance is quite evident in the television. Let me complete. My only point is, I mean, what is this? These are non-debatable topics. We have seen through television as to what was happening. And still we are debating whether it was anti-national statement or not. And for God's sake, it is an age where IS is making inroad. Tomorrow, if under the garb of FOE, they say that because we have freedom of expression, we will speak as the IS speaks. We will in fact start speaking for the IS. We will not behead, but we will speak the same language of IS. Should we allow them to speak and propagate the same language of IS? Or should we go to the police station and complain?
No, my point is, as a result, what is happening, and I know that Vikram Singh, you made this point, you believe a police officer has no choice in the circumstance but to act according to the rule of law.
Precisely.
But there will be a question mark whether the police is acting as an agent of the state machinery. There are numerous other examples where slogans are raised, where the police has never acted with this swiftness. There's a sense that the police also, at the end of the day, is a handmaiden of the party in power at the center. Do you believe that that's an unfair criticism of the police in this instance? What if tomorrow the police finds no evidence against Kanhaiya Kumar? Because from what I am being told, against Kanhaiya Kumar, did Kanhaiya Kumar raise anti-Indian slogan? There is no proof of that. There is no proof at the moment that Kanhaiya Kumar raised anti-Indian slogan. There may have been some students who raised it, but not Kanhaiya Kumar. He is being held today responsible for all that has gone on under the aegis of the JNU Students' Union. Is that the right approach to take?
Rajdeep, under these circumstances, the murky situation where everybody is fishing in troubled waters, the Delhi police have very limited choice. I have never served with the Delhi police ever, but I must compliment them for the proactive action. They had no option. Talk of university autonomy, ideally speaking, university should have reacted and settled the matters themselves.
That's my point. The university should have reacted and settled the matter.
They did not. They were mute spectators what was happening. The police had no option but to intervene, and if they do not intervene, look, the tone and tenor of the slogans. The Pathankot terrorists also had the slogans, and here in JNU the police would jolly well have come, and I really compliment the Delhi police for showing forbearance and tolerance.
Okay, you believe the police has done, then the point comes, Sanjay Jha, that the role that the Congress party wants to play here. The Congress party seems to want to suggest that the BJP is bringing back the emergency, not forgetting the fact that it was your party which brought the emergency in 1975 in the first place. Are you going to compare what happened in JNU with the emergency? Are you going to say Indira is India, now BJP is India, or Modi is India, as some of your leaders have been saying today? Is the Congress also overreacting and spoiling for a political fight?
Well, I can tell you, Rajdeep, Congress is not singular in its views or position on the way the JNU clampdown is happening at the moment. There are several political parties which have aired very, very similar views and have expressed their apprehensions. I think what India has today, and let's not believe that you need a formal dictatorship. India has a democratically elected dictatorship regime at the moment in New Delhi. And it's an organized, very systematic pattern. JNU, please don't look at that event, Rajdeep, in isolation. I mean, look at the fact that what happened with Rohit Vemula in Hyderabad, the way the ABVP, which is the student wing of the BJP, was given complete political patronage, the way the SCII students have been intimidated in Pune.
ABVP did not ask these students to make these slogans. No, let's be clear. Mr. Sanjay Jha, ABVP did not invite the students to make these anti-India slogans. Let's be fair also. You can now argue that the ABVP has politicized it, is itching for a fight. But the initial action was not done by the ABVP.
No, there are 2 points. Well, Rajdeep, there are 2 very critical points here. Anybody who's read the IPC, where the sedition law comes in, I think it's section 124, will tell you that from the speeches that we have seen on television, where is the call for public disorder being encouraged? Where is the call to violence being said in any of the speeches that Kanhaiya Kumar has made? I think prima facie, the way a draconian, tyrannical government has arrested him is hugely questionable. But the second is a telling giveaway. Yesterday, India's Home Minister reacts and says there is a connection between the Lashkar-e-Toiba and the JNU campus based on a fake Twitter handle. That tells you the mindset, that tells you the paradigm which is prevailing in the heads of the people in the current dispensation.
I want to give Sambit Patra a final word, because after that we'll have 2 more special guests joining me. But Sambit Patra, go ahead.
No, just to remind Sanjay Jha about how Rahul Gandhi about a year ago said that Indian intelligence had spoken to him about the fact that ISIS was taking Muslim guys from India for recruitment. Do you remember that? I mean, who was he was not even the congressman who was in any kind of cabinet post then. So who was informing him about the intelligence report?
That is precisely.
That point is quite remembered. So in fact, please don't question the Home Minister. And secondly, and very importantly, Rajdeep, it is a sorry.
I will leave it here.
Look at the discourteous nature of.
I will leave it there. I appreciate all of you joining. I'm sorry, Sambit, to interrupt you. I don't want a cross-talk. I want to leave it there. I think you've all had your say. After the break, I'm going to be joined by Sitaram Yechuri. Remember, he's a former president of the JNU Students' Union and someone of the CPIM who has much to answer for. Also, Soli Sorabji will tell us why he believes this is not a case of sedition. Sitaram Yechuri and Soli Sorabji are joining us as we continue the big fight and battleground. Welcome back to Battleground JNU. I want to now look at the entire issue of sedition. Soli Sorabji, former Attorney General, is joining me at the moment. I also hope to be joined by Sitaram Yechuri. I just want to play for you, gentlemen, exactly the video brought to us by an ABVP activist. Remember, ABVP activist. Just listen in, and then I want Sorabji ji to answer whether this qualifies as sedition or not. Just listen in. Soli Sorabji, does that qualify in your view as sedition or not? If those videos are accurate, remember they've been given to us by the ABVP, if they are accurate, does it qualify as sedition or not?
Frankly, Rajiv, I couldn't hear them.
Yes.
But if this is mere disapprobation of government, disapproval of government, criticism of the Supreme Court judgment, convicting Asal Guru, it's not sedition.
Suppose they say Bharat ki barbadi. Suppose they say Bharat, India must break up, Inkilab. Then does it qualify as sedition?
No question about it. No question about it. But this all has to be proved in a court of law. Sitting in my chambers, I can't say that. These are all ifs and buts. Main thing is criticism of government, however vigorous, however strong, is not sedition. So saying anti-India slogans is what? If you say there are certain measures of government are wrong, criticize them pungently, vigorously, not sedition. That's what Supreme Court has said in Kerala. But if it goes further, and those statements have an effect of disrupting law and order, and more important, incitement to violence, then it is sedition. Now, whether it is not also, the court of law will decide.
Sitaram Yechuri, in your view, because the left has come out very strongly in defense of the students, do you concede that some of those slogans will be seen as seditious in nature, and therefore you will find it very difficult to prove your case in a court of law.
Yes.
Mr. Yechuri, do you see those slogans as seditious or not? Mr. Yechuri?
No, I won't. I won't find it difficult at all. And my good friend Soli has actually said, from the legal point of view, what is the correct thing.
But from a political point of view.
What is sedition? Do you know, Mr. What do you define as sedition?
You tell me.
Sedition's the strongest point for defining sedition. The strongest point for defining sedition is incitement to violence. Is there any incitement to violence? From a political point of view, the authenticity of these tapes, the ABVP has fed you that. You're happily going as though this is the real truth.
No, I have said ABVP.
Secondly,
please correct. Let me correct it.
Who are these people?
I have said it was given by the ABVP.
If they are not students of JNU, if they come from outside, it's not the students who are responsible for them coming from outside. What were the authorities doing? Thirdly, was there something that the authorities deliberately allowed in order to, please let me complete. Please let me complete it.
Yes.
If these outsiders were allowed, was this a larger plot of the authorities and the government of the day to create a situation whereby they can crack down on JNU? All these have to be established. Before that, making such sweeping charges, and that too wrong charges.
But both sides, Mr. Yechuri, are making. Mr. Yechuri, both sides are making sweeping charges.
That I know of.
No, Mr. Yechuri, both sides are making sweeping charges.
So
Your
therefore,
party leader, Prakash Karat, says it has nothing to do with university. It's directly state intervention to suppress freedom of impression.
University that they have defined for the last 4 decades.
Right, but should you not wait for the police inquiry to be complete?
No, I'm not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not here. I'm now in Trivandrum. So I don't know what is happening there. I've just come in here this morning. I'll be back.
My question is,
sir. Why don't you also wait, Mr. Rajdeep?
No, I'm happy to wait. But it is already, but you went to the JNU campus. So you, Rahul Gandhi, opposition leaders went to the JNU campus.
Delhi government.
So you, Rahul Gandhi.
To establish the authenticity of these tapes. So why don't you wait for both of them rather than whipping? No, why are you whipping up a frenzy without waiting for them?
Sir, I am not, you are. It's the opposition which has already come out in solidarity with the students and given them a clean chit. That's my point. Should we wait for the police inquiry?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Please tell me.
I'll tell you why. How have you arrested? How have you arrested the president, the elected president of the JNU Students' Union, who doesn't figure in the tape that the ABVP give you?
That's an interesting point that Kanhaiya Kumar.
I'm asking you, Rajdeep, if you don't interrupt me.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm asking you, why and how has the elected president of the JNU Students' Union been arrested under sedition? What is the proof? Why? I mean, that is why we are there. That is why we went to JNU, saying that you are using this as a pretext for witch hunting. The RSS has called JNU an anti-national university for 4 decades. Now, with this Modi government, they think they have the patronage to do what they want. How have you picked up these 20 students? Is any one of them identifiable in the tape that you have got from the ABVP? Was the JNUSU president there? Then why don't you ask? Yeah? Why should I ask? Why don't you ask?
I have been asking
this. If he doesn't figure on the tape, how has he been arrested?
Let me bring in Soli Sorabji on that
point.
Why
was his bail today opposed in a violent fashion by the RSS, ABVP and BJP?
Soli Sorabji, there's an important point that Sitaram Yechuri is making.
You should be asking that, Raji.
Yeah, no, I am asking that. If the JNU Students' Union President, Kanhaiya Kumar, has been arrested today.
And what is your media?
Yes?
What is the responsibility of the first?
Sir, I only want to come to the truth. My only thing is, let's get to the truth. Soli Sorabji, please respond to the fact that do you believe, as Sitaram Yechuri is suggesting, that the JNU Students' Union President cannot be arrested for sedition simply because this took place on the campus, allegedly under the aegis of the JNUSU?
3 days ago.
Do you agree with that, Soli Sorabji, that sedition cannot be parked against a student simply because he was part of the crowd, or because if he has not uttered the slogans, is he still guilty of sedition?
Well, these are ifs and buts. What Sitaram said is correct, and certainly can't be arrested for sedition. But who has to establish that? Neither Sitaram nor I can sit in judgment. The matter should be before the court of law. Challenge his arrest. Because I don't know if what he said is what you said earlier, that we take revenge, we say India is divided, then certainly it's sedition. But has he said it? Has it been proved? So we are just speculating at the moment. Let the matter be decided by a court of law, and if the things which are stated, I disagree with Sitaram, if they are stated will avenge Afzal Guru and will see India as barbat kar gaye the, then it's certainly incitement to violence, and then it is sedition. Mere criticism of Supreme Court judgment is not sedition.
Let me ask you in conclusion, Sitaram Yechuri, do you see this as a large... You said that for 4 decades the RSS has wanted to discredit and demolish the JNU. Is this therefore a battle between the left and the right? Is this essentially a battle, an ideological war with JNU as the battleground and the likes of Kanhaiya Kumar caught in the crossfire?
Exactly. No. Yeah. Yes. Of course.
Right. Is that what you're saying?
No, this is not a battle between the left and right. This is a simple, straightforward right assault on an academic institution of high repute. There is no between fight. This is a straightforward assault by the right-wing forces.
Sitaram Yechuri.
I'm saying that. This is a straightforward attack by the right. There is no question of left and right ideological war. This is an attack by the right on the autonomy of higher education institutions, fits into their pattern to control higher education in the country, to transform the teaching of higher education, replace history with Hindu mythology. That is their objective. Wherever they find obstacles, Hyderabad Central University, JNU, FTII, Madras IIT, this is exactly what this government is doing.
I'm going to leave it there, Sitaram Yechuri.
It is assault by the right. It's not a fight between right and left.
Okay, it's not a fight between right and left. It's an assault on the right. Assault from the right is how you claim it. Others are seeing it perhaps differently, as an ideological war which has now taken a clear political dimension. But Sitaram Yechuri, joining me from Thiruvananthapuram, Soli Sorabji, appreciate your joining us. Thank you very much for joining us here on Battleground JNU. We've tried to bring you all perspectives. On this channel, the aim is to get you every perspective. Where the anchor doesn't force down his or her views, you, the viewer, can decide exactly where you stand on this issue.
Sources are saying that prima facie it appears that DU Professor S.A.R. Gilani encouraged anti-India slogan shouting. The statement of another professor, Ali Javed, points to 2 things. Gilani lied about the nature of debate and